welcome our next speaker to the stage. Welcome, Rita. I am so happy to have you here. And I think that this is going to be a wonderful next step, a wonderful next speaker. So I'm going to give you the stage and let you speak. So welcome.
Thank you so much, Haley, for the opportunity to share this afternoon. And hello to everyone who is listening in and watching. It's a pleasure to be here. Listen, so you may or may not be aware of this. And for those of you who are women, truly, I invite you to listen up. And for those of you who are men who are listening, I invite you to listen up on behalf of the women in your lives. 97% of women will at some point in time be solely responsible for their personal finances. Yet only 79% of women are ready to do so. 50% of marriages end in divorce. And as a result of that divorce, we find that women's standard of living drops by as much as 73%. This next stat that I'm going to share with you really gets to my heart every time. 87% of our poverty stricken elderly are women. So, for those of you whom I've never met, my name is Rita Stewart, and I am a licensed financial professional. And my heart just goes out as it relates to women around their personal finances, and those stats alone speak to that. And I do this work through, of course, workshops and speaking, and also one-to-one over a cup of tea. I love a cup of tea. So now you know a little bit about me, myself. Now, one of the things that I want to share is the fact that there are three stages of your financial trajectory, or three stages of your financial life. That's what I'm going to talk about this afternoon. Sort of like you talk about the stages of life of a butterfly or animals and things like that, stages of life of humans. I'm going to talk about three areas or three stages of life as it relates to your personal finances. And it's important that we have this conversation because more times than not, we tend to want to avoid the conversation around money. And I wish that weren't the case, but unfortunately, it really is. Now, before I go there, I want to say again, my heart is around coming alongside women to help them come to understand and know their personal financial power. And I also come alongside a few men, of course, as well as small business owners. But the goal is there is a need to ensure that women understand their personal financial power. And this is just a great audience because many of us are independent business women, and that gives us all the more reason to ensure that we're at that place. So now let's get to these three stages. The three stages, I'm going to tell you what they are first, and then I'll walk back through them. So the first one is your accumulate. No, that's not the first one. The first one is your protection, your foundation. So if you think about a pyramid, so the first stage would be protection or your foundation. The second stage would be accumulation. And then the third stage would be that of distribution. So protection, accumulation, and distribution. Those are three stages of money that I want you to take note of. And now I'm going to walk you through some things that you need to think about as it relates to those three stages. So we know that when we're building a house, we talk about the foundation, right? The foundation makes the home secure and helps it to last, throughout our time living there and for other people to come who may live in that home. So with ensuring that you set a firm foundation, you want to ensure that you do or put in place what's necessary for protection for your life, for protection for your business, right? And for protection for your money. And one of the ways I think that many of us don't even realize why we put certain things in place is through the lenses of insurances. Okay? I mean, we protect our auto, we protect our home, we protect cell phones, right, through insurances. But there's an opportunity for us as women and as individuals, small business owners, to ensure that we protect our money, to ensure that we protect our life, and to ensure that we protect our businesses. And again, one of the ways that we can go about doing that. So I implore you to do some research with whomever you come alongside with for your insurances, to talk to them about ways to be able to protect your foundational things for the near future and for the long term. Okay. And also be sure to push for clarity around those specific areas. And I'm going to stick out, I'm going to share a buzzword. I want to share the buzzword living benefits as an FYI. So as you're having the conversation with whomever you come alongside with, as it relates to supporting you with protecting what you have, your life, your business, and your money, make sure you put out there the notion of living benefits and what impact that could have on what you have. Okay. The rest, they should fully understand, right? And understand too that not all insurances are created equal, and not all living benefits are opportunities are created equal as well. Life insurance is not just about death insurance anymore. It has evolved tremendously. So do your due diligence and ask the questions to make sure that you yourself are protected well now while you're living, and that your loved ones will be protected later. Okay? So that's the protection. That's the first level. Now, the second level that I want to talk to you in this stage is that of accumulation. And when we think about accumulation as it relates to our monies, we want to think about the opportunities where we can go about accumulating as much money as possible with minimal tax implications. Listen, did you know that we only receive 58% of every dollar that we earn? If you look at all of the taxes that are taken out for different reasons, whether it be for Social Security, whether it be for the federal government, whether it be for your state, depending on what state you live in. But on average, we only receive 58% on the dollar. And understand and know the wealthy are very aware of this, and they have learned to leverage different solutions that can help them not have to pay as much in taxes legally now, hear me, on the money that they earn. But there are ways, there are solutions out there that can support you with ensuring that you can minimize your tax implications as you are accumulating money for the long term. So there are things out there like tax-free retirement plans. There are things out there that helps you be positioned to defer taxes that you would be liable for as you are earning monies. Okay. Now there are some solutions, believe this or not, that exist that allow you to defer taxes while your money is growing, while your money is accumulating, as well as you can be able to have access to to the monies tax free. But you have to ask the right questions. You have to do your due diligence, and you need to be probing your particular person who comes alongside you from a financial perspective. And understand this too. Not Some people tend to rely on their financial advisor and their financial advisor alone. There is nothing wrong with that. And many financial advisors, when you hear me reference financial advisors, are those who are licensed to support you with your investing in the market. But there are also other financial professionals who can come alongside you to support you with leveraging, being able to accumulate your funds in a tax-free, quote unquote, way, and with a risk-free way, meaning outside of the market. There is nothing wrong with the markets. I'm not in don't have any aversion to the market, but it's an opportunity for you to get to a place where you're truly diversifying some of your funds in the market and some of your funds outside of the market that still has a pretty nice growth trajectory. And hear me, there are solutions that are available within the financial services arena where you have the opportunity to leverage what is termed as an index account. And with an index account is based on the S&P 500. itself, the index, not within the market as it relates to the S&P 500, but an index that tracks along with the S&P 500, that as the market is growing up, your earnings are going up, the market is going up, your earnings are going up. However, when the market drops, your money locks in like a ratchet. You heard of one of those tools called a ratchet? It locks in. Okay? You don't lose any of the principal you put in, and you don't lose any of the earnings that you've gained. As the market goes up, your money continues to grow. You can be positioned to not have to deal with the losses of the market. Now, again, diversification. Sure, have some of your funds in the market, but there's an opportunity to have some of your funds positioned in entities that will minimize your loss, minimize your risk, and also minimize your tax implications. So come alongside with your advisor, but also I would employ you to come alongside with the person who you tend to work with from your insurance's perspective. Understand and know that the wealthy are well aware, and I've said this before, of some of these solutions that are available. But many of us in middle America tend not to be aware of it. And that is what I am proclaiming that I will be doing for the rest of my days, to ensure that I have an opportunity to come alongside and educate individuals on these other solutions that are available. Because I know that when I learned about them, it changed my life. I refer to it as restoration. Okay, so we've talked about protection and understanding and know that there are solutions out there that can support you with protecting your life, your money, and your business. Okay, so check on that. Second stage is accumulation. There are financial solutions out there, ladies and gentlemen, those are here, that can support you from from a tax advantage perspective, and also from a minimal risk or loss in the market. Again, I don't have any adversity towards the market. I just strongly suggest you consider other options that allow you to say, I know what's happening with these funds over here, and come heck or high water, they're going to be there for me. And I can continue to leverage the market as well as I can. And I think that this is more important, or becomes more so important, once you reach the age of 50, 60, etc., where you don't want to be as concerned about the ebbs and flows of the market. You need to know that you don't have to worry about trying to regain your losses. I had a gentleman who came to me not long ago. He's a young man, but he works with some more seasoned people, I should say, who thought they will be retiring in 2023. And of course, we've had some major adjustments in the market this past year, and as a result of it, these men sitting at the lunch table said, man, I'm sitting on $1 million, but I just lost, 300,000. So I thought I was going to be able to retire next year, and I'm not going to be able to do so. And the young man called me. He says, my mother has been telling me to talk to you. And he says, Mrs. Stewart, I do not want to be sitting at the lunch table when I'm 60 years old or 62 years old and thinking I can retire, but yet I can't, because I just had a major loss in the market. So I'm saying there's an opportunity for you to figure out, or come to understand and know that there are other solutions that you can have come alongside what you're already have invested in the market for your long-term trajectory. Okay. Now, the third area that I wanted to talk to you about in terms of the 3 stages of money is that of distribution. One of the things that's most important to all of us, particularly those of us who are entrepreneurs, is to ensure that we have enough money that will last us the rest of the days of our lives. That's important to us, right? And for me, one of the other things that's important to me is I don't want to become a burden. We have one daughter. I don't want to become a burden to my child. And no one wants to become a burden to anyone, for that matter. So the other opportunity for us to understand is, if we have our monies in our 401k plans and we are managing to them ourselves, then the likelihood of us being able to ensure that we manage to those funds for the rest of our days is pretty much null. On average, we find that when people manage to their 401ks themselves independently, that money lasts them about 7 years. I had a young woman call me, or a lady call me not long ago, and she wanted to talk to me about the fact that she was laid off. She got her severance package. And as a result of what she had decided to receive for her disbursement, she based it on what she was making in her income. And I thought, oh my goodness, you're going to run out of money. That's not feasible. There are solutions, ladies and gentlemen, that are available to us in the financial services industry that we can park some of our money in and have it set up such that the monies will be distributed to us for the rest of our days. These monies can also grow tax deferred. However, you would pay taxes on the distribution of them when you're ready to take the funds out. But the goal here, the key is these particular solutions, and I'm speaking directly about annuities in this case. All annuities are not created equal as well. So you need to be aware of that. There's a stigma around them. But trust me, I've witnessed this as I have managed to the estate of my father. I've witnessed this as I've managed to the estate of my grandfather. And I witness this as I come alongside people today, that annuities can help you such that when you get ready for the distribution of your funds, you can position it so that you know that that money is guaranteed to last you the rest of your days. And should you pass away, let's say you were thinking, I'm planning a trajectory of 20 more years, and you pass away within 10 years, your family would be the beneficiary of your annuities. And I'm stressing these things because there are some solutions out there in the past that wasn't always the case. So, three things. Think about your financials from a protection standpoint, an accumulation standpoint, and then the distribution, and ensure that your money lasts you all the days of your life. So not long ago, someone asked me, actually my mentor asked me, Rita, why do you do this? Why are you so passionate about this? And there's three reasons why I'm so passionate about it. One is I get phone calls way too often about women who are experiencing financial abuse. It's real. Okay. So I want to come alongside women, as I said, to support them in understanding and knowing and how to execute their personal financial power. The second reason why I do this is because many women tend to be the nurturers. Many women tend to have a gap in their careers, right? A lot of reasons why some of us are entrepreneurs. And as a result of that, we haven't had an opportunity to put away as much money towards our long-term goals. And we need to be more diligent about that. And I want to help women see that they can get that done. And then the third reason, and this one hurts to even speak to it, is the fact that the notion of domestic abuse. Many women stay because they can't get out because they're trapped from a financial perspective. And where I can come alongside someone, a woman, and teach them to do better with that, and to learn to do better with their money and how they can go about making money, et cetera, and how they can be putting their money aside and how they can position themselves and their children such that they will be okay financially, because it can be done, then I'm going to continue to do that work. So I want to thank you so much, Haley, for the opportunity to share this afternoon with the ladies and or everyone. And I pray that you found a tip or a nugget that will be helpful for you. Thank you,
Awesome.
Haley.
Thank you, Rita. How would somebody go about getting in touch with you?
Okay, so for me, you can find me on Instagram at Money Matters in Tea. I love tea, so that's my handle there. And then RitaStewart.com. And then under the tab Legacy Financial Wellness, that's how they can find me. Thank you,
Awesome.
thank you, thank you.
Thank
See
you
you
so much,
soon.
Rita.
Bye bye.
Thank you. See you